or hanging.
He makes a theme song every episode.
Okay.
It's different.
Okay.
Come
on, join in. Come on.
Trying
to
This
catch
is
it.
all freestyle.
Life got hands.
Life
Life got hands.
Boom. All right. That's supposed to be a dun, dun,
No,
dun,
yeah.
but I did it.
Yeah. One of these days, you got to
sure.
get a soundboard. You
Bro, I need
you should invest in
a soundboard
Right,
so I
invest in a
can,
soundboard.
you know,
So
I
you can be Kanye.
Yeah.
So I
No.
can
I was
drop some
actually
bombs.
watching one of Jay Dilla's documentaries, and he like a lot of them just started out with like it's
A little
See,
small.
all I
I
need
don't
is
know
a,
what it
a little
is,
baby MPC,
but
you know.
you need that.
Coke bombs.
You ever watch?
Yeah.
You watch Bob's Burgers? You know the little keyboard. The
Exactly.
Gene be
I
walking
can be Gene up
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. Go get you a keyboard, bro.
Internet, make it happen. Nah, I gotta get some.
What's up, internet?
What's up, internet?
Started GoFundMe,
What's
my boy.
good, y'all? Welcome back to the Life Got Hands podcast. We back in the studio,
Episode
live and direct. Episode
5.
5.
Cinco.
Fab 5.
Hey.
Big 5, man.
Fab
Yeah.
5. We got a very fab guest.
That's
Hey.
a bar. That's a bar.
Hey,
That was
You see what I-
okay.
you see what I did there?
Okay, bro.
You see what I did?
that was it.
Okay.
That was it.
We want to welcome our family. Literally.
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 We got
Literally.
Aleali May on the
Tied in.
pod. What's good with you,
Yo.
Aleali?
The one and
Hello.
only.
Thank you.
Quite literally.
Thanks for
quite
having
literally.
me.
Of course.
Thank you
man.
for pulling up.
Thank you
for
so
being
Yeah,
here.
much
I'm
for pulling
excited.
up.
I had to pull up. You know, a lot of people don't know me and PJ are cousins.
Yeah.
Bro. You know, like, it's crazy over the years. Like, I've posted you or I took a picture with you or whatever, and I've posted it, and you know how many girls would be like, you know her?
Oh my god.
Hey, I appreciate you.
I'm
I
like,
appreciate
you know, from
you.
chicken nuggets and chicken tenders
Come
to
on,
that's
you
For
know
real.
bags of chicken.
Nah,
Okay,
yeah.
because
that's
we
crazy.
definitely running it
Getting
up,
that chicken.
Yeah.
running it up.
Yeah.
You know,
That's beautiful.
What was
man.
we're always very curious like about PJ as a kid. Like how did he
All
get
right,
to
what's up with you,
Okay,
bro?
how did he get to
Okay.
being this guy that he is today?
what I can say, PJ has always had swag. I remember he used to come over my
Okay.
house
Wow.
and like he'll
Okay.
be there the whole weekend. This is literally like
Facts.
when we're talking about my mom and dad have an extended child, PJ is him.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like
So-
him.
yeah.
It's so funny because we've gone to school with Eric our entire lives.
Yeah.
Okay.
And,
oh, wow.
I've known him
Yeah.
and
That's
Eric.
That's how I met
crazy.
them.
Yeah,
I
remember I was telling you
Okay.
when we was at
If
Top
people
Golf.
don't know, Eric is my brother.
Yeah.
So
And my cousin.
Yeah.
My other cousin.
We've known Eric since fucking kindergarten.
wow.
Right.
And now, like, because we did the show and all that stuff, and PJ was on the
Yeah.
show. I mean, obviously, we
Whoa,
fuck with you. So it
whoa,
wasn't just a show.
whoa.
Wasn't just
It
the
was
show.
an alley. It said
But
it
you
was
know,
a-
we
Say,
spent.
if
we
PJ was
spent-
on college.
Yeah,
He
we
said
didn't-
I'm
I'm
saying PJ was on our show.
But
Like,
we didn't start hanging out as frequently until we
Yeah.
started doing the show.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, we went to Vegas
We
for
went
Eric's
to
birthday.
Okay.
that first Vegas trip.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But something
Yeah.
I always be
It's crazy.
saying is like, damn, like, okay, like a lot of my friends I knew in their formative years,
Right.
you know, growing up, whatever.
we never saw PJ in those.
I knew
development
PJ as an
years.
adult.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm
Like
like,
I
how
said-
did you know?
Like I said, PJ was always fly. Definitely, he would come over, and there
He's
was
blushing.
certain Jordans, you know, that they wouldn't make in my size. But when he would come in, him, my stepdad, and my stepbrother would be playing basketball, like in the backyard.
Mhm.
Like, literally, I'd be like, "Yo, what? Where you get those?" Like, I remember there was a certain one. I think it was the Bordeaux's, and I was
Yeah.
like, I need a
was
pair.
like,
I
I
literally
knew
saw
that.
him in the backyard, like I need a
We
pair.
clipping this. We clipping this
We
right
clipping
here.
But yeah, always been fly. I mean, whole family always been fly.
Nah,
I think
facts.
that's just naturally,
That's fair.
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just a part of us being us.
But
and-
you're the Beyonce of the family.
No. No.
We all Beyonce.
We have to
bro.
think of, bulls or something, where
I feel that. Okay, I feel that.
everybody
I feel that. I feel
has,
that.
Okay.
the certain things that they do and they're really great at it.
Right,
Because
yeah.
even,
All right, who Mike, though?
Eric is amazing,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
like,
That's one of the smartest niggas I know.
Facts.
I
That
don't
shit is
do
crazy.
that.
You
I
might
do
be
the
the
science of
smartest nigga I
fashion. He
know.
does the
Yeah.
science of science.
You
You
know?
know,
Yeah, it's
boom,
crazy.
boom. Like everybody does something.
Everybody got their own thing.
Yeah.
For sure.
I remember Eric was our roommate at UCLA.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this nigga would be in there like doing astrophysics problems, and
Like,
I'd be like, bro, like I'm just over here trying to write this little essay.
That
and-
boy
Listen.
is going to space.
Yeah,
He's going to space.
going to
yeah,
space.
I
someday.
told him I just need to be on the list.
You know?
Yeah.
If there's a buddy pass system, I know that there's other people before me, but if you can have at least
If you
six,
get- if
think
you
of me
can
as a
finagle
six
it,
man.
extra plus
we
one,
can
Think
let
of
me
me
know.
as a six man. Yes.
Can you? There's something else that you got to clear up for us, because PJ likes to front like we don't know what PJ stands for.
Bro.
So he told us one time
This is not about
that it
me.
stands
like-
for
it doesn't stand.
it's
Okay.
Patrick Geronimo
Yeah.
Compton, right? Thank you, bro. Like, thank
Did you
you.
say
We're
that?
clipping that. We're clipping that.
I look down.
We're clipping that.
I look
We're
down.
clipping that.
It's
Patrick
not.
Geronimo Compton
It's
in the
not.
building,
It's
baby.
not.
It's not. Look.
But what I can say is PJ needs to get something, because I always was like, how is your last name Compton?
Oh God.
And Compton is literally,
Down the street.
you
Yeah.
need
Right,
to,
it's right
there's
there.
something there.
Change your Instagram,
It's
bro.
feeling like ownership somewhere.
Somewhere.
Compton SP.
I'm about to look into that.
You definitely should look.
Hit my congressman. Like,
You
hey,
know,
yo.
so I
That's
think it's
funny.
pretty lined up for you.
So before we get into like some of the questions, kind of give us obviously we know who you are. Tell people who you are.
Yeah.
And give us a rundown of.
Yes, so my name is
Go ahead and brag a little bit.
Big time.
I'm chill. My name's Aleali May. I am from Los Angeles. I'm from South Central.
The real kind.
Again,
Yeah.
family in here.
10 toes.
10 toes down, okay. And I design. So I'm in fashion. Mostly known for designing Jordans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep,
So,
yep.
Michael Jordan, definitely thank you for the opportunity. And that was really like the first time people really started seeing me as a designer and also as a footwear designer. So that was 2017 when we put out my first collaboration with the Jordan brand. And at the time, it was the second woman to ever collaborate with Jordan brand. The first one being Vashti Cola.
Yeah, shout out to her OG.
Yes.
Okay.
And that was in 2010. And so 2017, so long.
Yeah.
Long break. But I was able to be the second woman and the first to put out a unisex sneaker.
Yeah.
So unisex meaning designed by a woman, but it comes in
This shit
men's
for
sizing.
everybody.
Hell yeah.
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 Definitely got
Hell
that
yeah.
pair.
Hey.
Yeah.
I'm
yes.
so
Same.
mad.
I was gonna wear it today, but we have to.
Nah, it's okay.
We have to
Look,
throw in the
look.
Fuma.
I'm so mad. I remember when we were when those came out. I think you went with Eric to the pop up.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was there.
And
I was there, yeah.
And so these niggas hit me. They're like, "Yo, you want a pair?" I was like, no, I'll get them eventually.
crazy.
And I was like, they came back with the shoes, and I was like, oh shit, these
Yeah,
is
bro.
fire. And
Fire.
I went to try and buy a pair on StockX. Motherfuckers was like $1,700 for a pair. I
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
don't have a pair.
Not gonna lie, mine are pretty beat right now.
Yeah,
like,
listen.
they're.
Yeah,
I need to get them.
I slept
Yeah.
for sure. I
Yeah.
slept.
I mean, honestly, I really didn't know how that all was going to turn out, because I think I was, pretty new to sneakers
Yeah.
app and just like all these things.
Mhm.
And I was new to the experience of like dropping something,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and dropping something with a major brand like
Right,
Jordan
right.
brand is just, I really didn't know what to expect. We were preparing for the pop-up at Undefeated
Yep,
the night
yep.
before. And I remember like some kids like walked up, they were like, "Can we start camping?" And then I was like, "Huh?" Like I thought tomorrow everyone's just gonna, come in, buy the
Stroll
shoes.
in.
Thank you.
Nah.
Like thank you for supporting. And no. There was a line.
It was people out
Yeah.
there.
You're a big deal,
was-
man.
It was people
I mean,
out there.
again, I had no designs out yet. So like your first design is with Jordan Brand.
Yeah.
And I also had really great people to help usher me in.
Yeah.
So there was this guy named Frank Cooker and Jimo Wong. And so they pretty much, when you're thinking about like undefeated fours or cause fours or Eminem, like all these amazing collaborations, like they're a part of that team that put those
Yeah.
collaborations together.
Wow.
So yeah, coming up underneath them, I felt very like comfortable,
Yeah.
and even when we first started the conversation, it wasn't really like, oh, you're gonna have a Jordan, it's kind of like, oh, we just want to get like your ideas on some things,
Yeah.
and we plan on coming out with like women's, and then from there it was really, you want to come to Portland? And I was like, I mean, am I gonna
What's
say
up,
no?
baby?
Am I gonna
Take me
say no
out to
right now?
dinner.
Like,
Say less.
hopped on the plane. I was by
Did
myself.
they put you on what type of first class?
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course.
Oh yeah, I'm just
They're
trying to make
like,
sure. You feel me?
You
That's
know,
Big
baby
Mike.
girl coming. You know,
That's tight.
Come on.
And so I was obviously really nervous because when you go alone to these things, you're
Yeah.
like, I don't even know what I'm expecting. And so it was a line of just meetings, like one after the other. It was probably like 8 meetings an hour each. And
Damn.
so it was just top to bottom, lunch break, obviously, and it was more so going through product. And then when we started getting towards the end, it was like, would you ever want to do a shoe? And I'm like,
Duh.
I mean,
How
if I had the opportunity, for sure,
So how did the whole partnership with Jordan Brand come about? Like,
Yeah, so let's kind of revert back even
Yeah,
farther.
take us through,
So
take us through.
so me going to actually like Portland to go to the Michael Jordan building, that whole part was probably in like 2016. In 2010, I moved to Chicago. I went to college at this place called Columbia, and probably 2011-ish, it was around the time Watch the Throne just dropped. Maybe that was 2012 or something. But I basically came across this place. It's called RSVP Gallery, and it was owned by Don C and Virgil Abloh.
Yeah.
And so at the time, it was very much the only thing like it where you can go in, you could buy BBC, you can buy like all these like street brands that you really can't get anywhere else.
Yeah.
And like it would be placed in a go yard trunk or something,
Mhm.
and that was like the first times I was ever looking at like a place and I was like, wow, this feels so much like me. I don't even know how to explain it, and also me being in fashion, it was just very much like that's exactly how I see myself, somewhere between luxe and street fashion. And this is like the epitome of it. And so I was working at Louis Vuitton at the time, like retail sales, but it was a lot of older people. I was
Yeah.
like making the most money, working there, which was amazing to be in college and just, have a steady paycheck.
Yeah.
But then I also felt like I wanted to be outside because, I'm with the wrong crowd. Like, I'm like, I need to
Yeah.
be like
Yeah.
having these
Around-
types of
yeah, facts.
conversations
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like, feeling out like, who am I?
Right.
And so I actually ended up quitting Louis Vuitton to work at RSVP full time. But I actually met Don C and everyone the night of Chicago's Watch the Throne show.
Oh,
Oh,
damn.
damn.
Yeah, so-
that's a crazy night to meet them.
No,
That's
I
crazy.
mean literally, Don was like, "Yo, Aleali, if you would have knew us like last week, we could have had you come to the concert with us." I was like,
Damn.
that would have been crazy. But even that
That's
moment,
low-key
I
a
think
fucked
it's
up,
just,
like,
it's like,
wish you were there.
yeah, like, oh, but nah, that was really cool because it was literally, the pitch was like, we're looking for like the ultimate Power Rangers, where like everybody has what they do and we
Right.
all come together to
Yeah.
like make this bigger thing. And with that pitch, I was like, I'm down. When do I start?
Yeah.
And at the time, I actually wasn't getting paid. I was just an intern, but I was willing to do the job because it made me happy being there.
Yeah.
And
And the upside was like,
it was like I was around people like myself, and then anything.
Didn't feel like work.
Yeah, anything I ever like had a dream about, like, oh, I want to be a model, I want to be a stylist or whatever. Like Don would be like, okay, well, look, we got Givenchy coming in 2 weeks. You gonna model the
Here's how we
stuff. We're
could
gonna
do
put
it.
it on the
Yeah.
website. Oh, you want to do the Twitter, you want to do the Instagram,
Trial
things
by
like
fire
that.
type shit.
Yeah,
That's
and it's
dope,
like
man.
working with what you got,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
using what you have around you, your
Go
resources,
learn. Yeah.
and just expanding. So I feel like a lot of that really translated to what I do now, but that's actually where I met the Jordan brand people first.
Wow.
So they would come into the store,
Mm.
they knew the store manager, they knew Don, Virgil, everybody. And so they're like, oh, this is Aleali, blah, blah, blah. And that was it. I didn't have nothing with them after that. Like, no kind of text, email, whatever.
What the fuck?
They were
It
just
was-
watching.
It was just like, oh, yeah, nice to meet you, And then I
Damn.
moved back to LA in 2013. We didn't talk till 2016.
when everything
That's-
started.
Hey, that's crazy.
So they were just
That's
watching from afar, like as
Yeah.
you.
Big Brother
Was
is
building
watching
Had
type shit.
no, literally,
That's
you never know
crazy.
who's
You
watching
never
type
know.
of thing.
You just gotta
Yeah.
do you.
Yeah, just keep doing you. And it was funny because at the time I was actually signed to Adidas.
Oh,
I had like a major campaign, and it was like for the tubulars that just like launched, and like the NMDs and all
Oh,
of these
yeah.
shoes.
What
Wow.
a time.
Right.
And
That's
it
crazy.
was really fun because again, this was like the first time I've ever did like a big campaign. So, we're just
Yeah.
like taking the experiences, and then, obviously us as, young Black kids, when Jordan Brand calls you like, excuse me?
yeah.
I
I'm
gotta
sorry.
Go. I gotta
Yeah.
go.
Hi,
Yeah.
what's up? Because I wear Jordans,
Yeah.
okay? And that's kind of how everything flowed, and that's what really got me into that one meeting,
Yeah.
at the Nike
and
campus.
it's crazy too, cause like as a kid, you always had like your own sense of style, right? Like
Definitely.
whether it was like it was clothes or music. I remember you was on like the old school, like listening to Run DMC
Yo,
and
like-
all that,
Come
right?
on.
And you
Come on.
influenced like me
It
and
helps.
Eric to start
Come on.
listening to them, like, and so
Yeah,
like
that was me.
Yep,
seeing all
yep.
that, right? And then you went away for school. The next thing I know, it was just like, yo, Aleali got her own Jordan. Like, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like,
No,
where did this come-
honestly, that day, I feel like the day of the pop-up, I invited, all my family and stuff to come in. And no one ever really got what I do
Yeah.
into that moment where it was like, a lot of my family members was like, I mean, whatever you doing, keep doing it because it's working, obviously. But
Because I remember your mom, she would tell me like, oh yeah, Laylee's modeling. And like, I think you were working with, you were in like a video. I forgot what rapper it was.
probably, Nipsey and Hit Boys video.
No, it was somebody from Chicago.
Mm.
Either Rocky Fresh or something
Okay,
like that.
yeah.
Damn,
So,
bro.
That was
hey,
a while ago.
actually, the
Wow.
crazy connection with that is Nem Perez, the director. He's from Chicago. He had like the Back to the Future car.
Mhm.
And so we had
DeLorean.
shot that because he was like, yo, can you just like be a stand-in, like kind of get in the car, like get out the car, type, like walk off,
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, easy. I'm about to put on my Chanel glasses. I'm about to get
Yeah, for
fly,
sure. Yeah.
And then when I moved back to LA, he was actually like, hey, like, I need you to style this video I'm doing for Nipsey and Hit Boy. And, obviously, like, you from LA, so I think it makes perfect sense. So I
Yeah.
pulled up and I had, like, the Crenshaw, like, crew neck. And so, like, I cut it up into, like, this, like, bandeau thing. And Nipsey showed up and he was, like, really nice, saying what's up to everybody. And then I remember when the model had came out, he was like, where'd you get that from? I'm like, from the store. Like, I just, did my own thing on it. But, he was like, damn, that's fire. But
That's hard.
nah, it was,
Shout out to the GOAT, man.
again, an
Yeah.
amazing time, and met some amazing people. Nip, Hit Boy at the time, and,
RP to Nip, man. Yeah.
Big Bro.
That's
That's
fire.
beautiful,
That's
man.
fire,
That's
man.
tight. That's
But
that.
yeah,
that-
shout out to
City
Nem
too.
Perez, because, looking out for the team is really who you know.
Yeah.
Facts.
That story has made me feel good.
Oh
man.
God!
Yeah.
Wow. Damn, she answered every single question that we had on the list. All right, y'all. This has been a great episode of the pod.
That made me feel great.
That was great.
What was like? what's your thought process behind inspiration for every single Jordan shoe that you get?
Because it's like 5 now, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because
so-
we're talking about how the first one's supposed to be like analogous to like a house shoe, right?
Yeah, so the first one is the satin shadow, so the satin gray with the corduroy.
Mhm.
That was taking, so like if you look at a picture of NWA and everybody's wearing like Kings or Raiders
Mhm.
merch, like that
Mhm.
just satin
Yeah.
jacket, that
Yeah.
snapback, whatever, pulling that inspo and then also using the corduroy
Yeah.
house slipper,
Yeah.
you know, and putting that on. Cause I was basically like, LA doesn't have a Jordan that's geared towards LA's fashion. And I
right.
feel like a lot of people undermine LA fashion,
Mhm.
you know? And so for me, I was like, let's put LA fashion like more, you know, hood LA fashion
Yeah.
on a Jordan. Like
Yeah.
this makes so much sense.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so and also you could represent so many teams with it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's easy to
Um,
style. For
Yeah,
sure. Yeah.
it just made so much sense. So we put all of those, and that was the first one. The second one was the one with the fur tongue on it, so you can
Mhm.
take it off. That was more so like an ode to like the Viotex and just like this time period when you think about like Pharrell and Kanye first coming in and they're wearing BBC or skateboarding
right.
and you know it's just like very colorful. You thinking about Japan, like
Mhm.
just all
Mhm.
these dope places and people. So yeah, I think for me that was like a timestamp in fashion, and that was actually a collaboration with Maya Moore. So she
Yeah.
made a
Right,
Jordan
right, right.
10 because that's her favorite shoe. So those
Oh, I
colors
do
that's on
remember
her
that.
I
shoe,
remember
I
that.
remember
yeah.
that. Yeah.
You know, it was like we were trying to do like the female version of like Spike and Mike.
Oh, okay.
You know, we were trying, to get our little visuals off. You know what I mean? And so, you know, because when you think about the Jordan brand, like fashion, music,
Yeah.
and sports,
It's all synonymous.
It's
Yeah,
all
for sure.
it's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
You
Right.
know, so obviously putting the girl that's in fashion and putting the person who you know plays basketball and
Hooping,
she's like
mm.
the female
Yeah,
Jordan.
she was
You
a
know,
top player for sure.
so
at that time.
putting those together just made a lot of sense. They actually were the ones who paired me with her, and it was just really dope. I mean, she loved it. I loved it. It was great.
Shout out to Maya Moore. Now
tight.
she fighting crime.
Yes.
Keep it
Yeah.
up. You
No,
know.
she's
Fighting crime.
really doing
She got
it.
like her
Yeah.
husband,
Crying,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
was in- he
they
was, like,
like
locked
have
up.
a book
Yeah.
and
She
yeah,
like helped get him out of jail,
Oh,
bro.
wow.
Married him
That's-
after.
Yeah.
That's a
I think she
real-
retired too.
No,
huh?
she did.
Yeah, she stopped
did.
playing to
I
like
remember
help
that.
him full time.
Yeah.
That's true love.
And
That's a-
then, hey
that's a
man,
good
Ride or
woman,
die.
Savannah.
That's a good woman.
write a book, Maya.
She did. No, she did.
Oh, dead ass?
Yeah, they did. They,
Oh my
yeah.
God.
They've been going on like a tour and
Wow.
like
Oh,
everything.
shit.
Yeah, no, it's so
Go
check
read
in on
Maya's
that.
book.
Go check in on that. But that was the second one. Third one was the Millennial Pink 6. So like, you know,
Yep.
obviously it's kind of self-explanatory. You know, they've been putting this pink with us, but I was like, let's make one that's very much of like a gender neutral pink. So it's a little like cooler.
What did Jay-Z say? It's mauve.
Right. Right. And yeah, I thought that would look really cool with like the infrared because I don't
Yeah.
think anybody kind of saw that combo. That was really fun. We launched that in Chicago at the Jordan store. It was cold, but I loved
Yeah.
it. And then the fourth one would be the Califias.
Which ones are those?
The
That
ones?
is the blue and green
Yeah.
ones.
Oh,
on-
yeah.
It's a Zoom.
Yeah.
I wear those all the time.
Yeah, I'm like the ones you
Yeah.
Those
wear
were
a
the
lot.
first ones that I got.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
I love those.
Shout out
Every
to
time I
Jordan.
wear them, people be like, "Bro, where'd you
On
get
God.
those?"
yeah,
Shout out to Jordan Brand. Those
Yeah.
are the first ones that they sent me.
For
yeah,
real?
Yeah.
sick,
That's
and
fire.
also very comfortable with the
Yeah.
Zoom bottom. That was a concept that they had introduced to me, and so that one was based. So Califia, in this book, it basically made by like this Spanish author. I'm gonna get his name later, but sorry to that man. But what's really important is this story is basically like California was named after a black queen, Califia. So
Oh,
that's like or Califia.
Something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, it's like the when you look at the milk.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Shout out to
So-
Cali. We'll call her
Okay.
Cali.
you know what I mean?
Cali.
So it was
Cali
in this
girl.
book. It's definitely a character that I was like, wow, that makes a lot of sense because the whole shoe was based off of my drill team coach, Shanora. She
Wow.
teaches at Hillcrest and Inglewood High.
Shout out
And
to Inglewood.
it was really about, the Black queens, working hard,
That's right.
and something where behind the scenes heroes need to be, seen because
Facts,
she's
yeah.
put in so much work on like uplifting young Black girls
Mhm.
and she still does it today. They win championships. Like, I mean, she's been going since I was in middle school,
Damn.
elementary school. And so, like, there's people like that out there that we don't see,
Yeah.
But you would never
and they
hear
need to
about
be
otherwise,
yeah.
celebrated. And, she
Yeah.
definitely
Not all
helped
heroes
me.
wear capes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And she helped me, gain confidence as a young girl. These
Mhm.
are moments that I have to think about now where it's like, hey, it's definitely a journey to get to who I am today. And like, who are these people along that journey that I
Yeah.
would love to highlight in a story? So that brings me to my next collab, which is the 14
Yep.
Fortunes.
Got those two.
Got those too.
Yep.
Yeah, so
My
that
closet
was.
full.
Listen, get it while you can, okay? 'Cause,
Hey, say that.
Don't be like me,
Um,
brother.
yeah, and those were actually really great because that highlighted my grandmother on both sides of my family. So my mom is originally from the Philippines.
Oh wow.
And then my grandmother, she's from LA. I
Wow.
mean, she basically created, so her class were the people who voted on what Crenshaw High's colors would be.
Oh,
That's crazy.
Yeah. So
Damn.
that
real?
blue and yellow.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
granny helped pick that out.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
So and
That's
she
like that's one of them Travis types. I'm sorry. That's one of them Travis type stories. Whenever you drive past Crenshaw, I'd be like, my granny helped pick it.
yeah.
Right.
No, I mean, it
Go
all
through the
it all
project.
helps. It all helps in the visual language of what we
Yeah.
know LA today. Is like, wow, that's super dope to know. But
Yeah. That blue and yellow.
yeah, so I had to highlight them. One of their first pieces of jewelry they gave me was jade.
Jade.
So that's why
Yeah.
we put jade on there. Gold, obviously. Usually you buy jade and gold together.
Mhm.
And then just like, I wanted to be a little more edgy. So that's why we put black and kind of like this like off-white cream kind of color. I wanted, my whole thing is just like, even if you don't know me, I want you to see the shoe and be like, that is a fire shoe.
Yeah.
Because like that's how I know like I've won as far as like designing an amazing product,
Yeah.
So I feel like each one, a lot of people have like their favorites, and then brings me to my friends and family pair.
You know, I wasn't gonna bring up the F and F, but I'm like,
Yeah.
damn, bro. Go ahead. Go
I've
ahead.
only
Yeah.
seen Tyler Adams wear this pair
Okay.
in the wild.
Oh yeah, I asked him all the damn. You like you gotta talk to your cousin about it.
I've
I was like,
only seen Tyler
Man.
Adams wear this, and maybe
Yeah.
PJ Tucker. Maybe
Yes,
PJ
I
Tucker.
actually did, and he's
I
actually an
think
army
PJ Tucker
brat.
was. Oh.
Yes.
Wait, what's that?
So
So
an
he
army
bounced around
brat
as a
means
kid?
that like your
Yeah.
parents were in the
yeah.
army.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that was really cool, and I actually learned that after I gave the pair to him because he's
Yeah.
the sneaker king, so
Yeah.
I had to pass those over.
Shout out to the guy.
But not a lot of people have those.
Yeah, I don't got
like my
those.
dad.
Those are
Obviously, he
fire.
has 2 pair. I did give a couple pair to his friends because they're also veterans.
Mhm.
DJ Clark Kent has a pair. Of course, he's another sneaker god. If you
Yeah,
don't
for
know
sure,
DJ
for
Clark
sure.
Kent,
Yeah.
you should. Hip hop right there. And yeah, like PJ.
Tucker.
Tucker! Okay. Yeah,
Because I was like, wait, hold on.
You're like, not me. But yeah, there's very few of those. But
Yeah.
that was, in order to honor my dad and, his time in the military, obviously being a Black man in America is, so, that's definitely a whole thing. And again, highlighting these heroes that we
Yeah.
don't see every day and how he represents just a crowd, on his own and
Yeah.
like who he is and, what he stands for is, just super dope. So,
Yeah.
it's all about family for me,
Yeah.
friends, community, and like you see that through my designs.
Definitely.
For sure.
And I'm happy that you mentioned favorites. Because I got a 2-part question for
Okay,
you.
okay.
All right. So what's your top 3 Out of all of them, pick your top 3.
Top 3, definitely the satin shadows
sure.
are my
First one.
first, because
Yeah.
that's like
Your first
that
first
is
love is the
Firstborn.
sweetest.
you
That's the
know,
one.
and that's the
That's the-
one where you're like, wow, like
I did.
keep going, you know, like that's always like the reminder, like
Okay.
to see it in person, and it's like this is what this became. Second one,
It's gonna start
probably
getting
the
tough.
fours.
The 4.
Probably the fours.
All right.
Yeah, I love
The significance
those.
of it that makes
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I'm a
yeah.
daddy's girl, pound
Yeah.
girl dad. So shout
Wow.
out to all the girl dads.
I'm not mad at this list so
You
far.
know,
All
and
right.
I would say 3.
I heard how she said pound instead of hashtag.
Is it? Dang! Am I old or young?
I fuck with pound.
No,
I
okay.
fuck with pound.
I mean, it's just easy.
Yeah.
I don't know. A lot of people be telling me that the 6s are their favorites, but I'm gonna say the 14s
The 14.
Yeah.
as number
Yeah.
3.
I think as a hooper, like 14s are probably one of the ones that made the most sense for me growing up to hoop in.
Mhm.
And so I never really like when I started wearing Jordans just like recreationally,
Yeah.
it was never like, I'm gonna go pair some last shots with this
Right.
fit. It was
Right,
like,
right.
I kind of associate that with hooping.
Yeah.
And then when you drop those, it's like, oh shit, like I would actually
Yeah.
wear
Yeah.
these.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
would
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
work
Yeah.
them out. Yeah.
I think that was
sure.
another one that I just felt like, yeah. I mean, all of them, and that's the thing when you make something and you're like, I put my all into this. You're like, I don't even know if I can do another one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then they're like, so do another one, and you're like,
Gotta draw
okay,
inspiration.
you know. And then, mind you, by the 4th and 5th time, you like, can I keep doing
Yeah.
this?
Yeah.
So you're really reaching new heights in like mental development, you know, the way you are as an artist, like, and you know, everything that you do in between, all the experiences you're taking in,
Mhm.
and you know, traveling and talking, the conversations you're having. So you know, you're starting to learn more about yourself and how I can apply different design methods to each shoe. Just because each one, I think if you pay attention, like details wise, like a lot of times back in the day, like used to just be colorways, you know, like if you
Mhm.
saw
Right,
an all
right.
red shoe,
That's a
you like,
fact.
damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
You know, now it's like, okay, can I get like some different textures on
Right.
there?
Yeah.
Like, you know, you're diving deeper into it. And I
Yeah.
think the advancement of technology obviously helps that, you know. But the 14s, I felt very much like, okay, I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
What Snoop Dogg say? I would like to thank me.
I would like to
Come
thank
on.
you.
You know?
Come on now.
But no, it was like, yo, you really did that.
Yeah.
Like, you know. So yeah, I thought I wouldn't be able to, but we did. We
Yeah.
did.
All right. So part 2 of the question,
Okay.
right? Now we normally play this game with like you list people, but we're gonna list your shoes.
Okay.
So it's like fuck, marry, kill.
Ooh.
Out of these top 3, your 1s, your 6s. No, was it no? Your 1s, your 4s, and your 14s.
Yeah.
Which ones? Which ones? I
Mary
guess
for
Mary.
sure. My first ones.
Okay.
That's right.
Yeah.
So which one you gonna kill?
Maybe the 14s.
The 14s?
Yeah, maybe
All
14 because the
right.
4s is
I-
like.
Yeah.
Significance.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
I
not
feel
mad
like-
at that.
Yeah.
That's tough.
All right.
I'm not
Yeah,
mad
that
at
works.
That works. I agree with that.
You
That's-
mentioned like along that process, like how you continue to find more of yourself in the designs, and you ask yourself, or you ask Jordan Brand, like, y'all gonna let me keep doing this? Like, is there more that I can do? Can we get is there more that to come? Are there more Jordan collabs?
Golf bomb.
You know, if I tell you, I'd have to kill you.
Okay, man.
But what can I say? Definitely, you can expect more design from me. It won't just be shoes.
Right.
Mhm.
It's definitely gonna be more in accessories. That's the only hint I can give you.
Okay.
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 Yes.
Okay.
And
She got a Louis bag coming out, y'all.
Okay, look, hey, we'll actually manifest that. That one I don't mind to manifest. But not yet, I guess, if we are trying to manifest
Yeah,
that.
not
But
yet.
For real, tap in.
yeah, so that's kind of the only thing I can give you. But
Okay.
I
again,
respect that.
Aleali in designs, you'll definitely see more from her, and a lot this year and next year for sure.
For sure.
And
Just-
in all different types of aspects of fashion. So
Okay.
again, if you're thinking about a full fit, whether it's shoes, clothes, or accessories, there's definitely going to be some design in all of these
Full
places.
service.
Fire.
All right.
Mhm.
Looking
All
forward
right,
to
now.
it. Just make sure we on the list to those events and the seating.
Yes, of course, of course.
Friends and extended family.
You know, sponsor
extended
podcast.
Hey, there we go.
Looking forward to more designs. Obviously, we got to talk about the Made brand
Right.
Yeah.
I was gonna say,
And
get
speaking
into it.
of,
Yeah.
Cozy wear.
and everything that you've built. On the foundation that you started with those Jordan brand designs. So what made you lean into blanks to
Yeah.
start off?
Honestly, it's just because when I'm traveling and like
Mm.
just running around every day, like
Yeah.
sometimes I'm not trying to think about if this matches. It's like let me throw it on and just like run out. I mean, obviously I'm in fashion, so
Right.
I'm gonna put a little look
Right.
together, even if it's low key.
Yeah.
You gonna catch me
But
slipping.
you
Yeah.
know,
Oh,
but
God.
what I can say is just like, oh yeah, like sometimes it needs to be just like some cool shoes with some cool pants, and I just need like a blank to match,
Yeah.
right? No
Gotta be functional.
branding.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, sometimes when something has like it's a blue sweater with orange branding, you're like, I can't go with
Right.
this
Yeah.
pant
Or, like,
or
something
like
stupid on
these
the back or
shoes or
something,
you know, there's just
yeah.
like one thing you're like, oh okay, well guess I
Mhm.
can't wear that. I wanted something that you could just be super cozy in. Again, if you're taking long flights and it's cold and you know the hoodie is like big enough, it covers your
Mhm.
you know earphones,
Yeah.
like it's the
Yeah, I
highest
hate that when you put the
quality,
hoodie on.
you know,
Yeah.
and it or sometimes like the hoodie's too thin, like this
Yeah.
one has a lot of weight to it, you know. So again, really just trying to create like these essentials, you know, that can go with anything and you can wear something at any price and like it's just gonna look really clean and, you know, chic.
That's tight.
Yeah, that's fire.
We love that.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
love that.
So you've worked with a whole bunch of different brands. So what is it like running your own show?
Yeah. Obviously there's a lot more control.
All right.
Which is fun, you know.
Yeah.
And then there's the other part that's the funding, you know,
Yeah, the
that
responsibility and all
more
that.
people have
Funding, yeah.
to have conversations, you know, with about like, hey, what's realistic? You know, a lot of
Mm.
times you can do pre-orders or things like that. And it's really all up to you when you're creating like these, you know, moments, right? But for me, I was like, I definitely want to have product on hand just so if somebody buys, like they can like we can get feedback, you
Mhm.
know,
Right.
because
Right.
it's pretty much trial and error, especially when you come out with your own thing. And so it's, you know, seeing who buys it, seeing where are they, you know, when they're
Yeah.
buying this. And so everything has just been really eye-opening and just again gathering information in order to create like the next thing.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's tight.
you just gotta take it a day at a time.
Nah, yeah. That's a
What
fact.
what goes into your vision like for the brand? Like obviously you have your
Yeah.
own personal style and you talk about the importance of like a heavyweight hoodie for you.
Yeah.
And the minor inconveniences of like the
Mhm.
Yeah.
hood not fitting over some headphones, but like thinking about you're now creating things. I mean, you've always been creating things for the consumer, but you're now
Mhm.
creating a brand that it's a baby that you're passing off to
Right.
consumers. Like what goes into your vision for the brand?
Yeah, I think it's for me with finding inspiration because I work on so many things. It's
Mm.
like, okay, what message am I trying to get? Like what do I feel like when I'm thinking about this,
Mm.
you know? And same thing with Jordans or whoever I'm working, Vans and Leathers, you
Mhm.
know, again, what is kind of their background and then how can I apply it? So the same thing for myself. It's like, okay, before I make really expensive pieces, I want to be able to create some everyday essentials of
Mhm.
high
Right.
quality for people who can always buy something
Yeah.
from me, you know?
Yeah.
So then let's say if someone has my essentials and then later on they go and buy a cut and sew piece for me that's super expensive, one, they always know they're buying quality from me.
Right.
But two, also, you know, I'm going to develop options for, let's say, whoever this consumer is to have hella different ways to get fly, you know?
Mhm.
Like I create shit for fly people,
Yeah.
you
Mhm.
know? And so I want to be able to give you as many options as possible, like when you spend money with me. So
Yeah.
even if you're looking at all of my Jordans together, they're all very different. But let's say if a girl's in high school and she owns all of them, she has something to match with every single one of her fits every
Right.
day.
Yeah.
So that's really my idea, just because, us being from South Central, like we created things out of nothing,
Facts.
like from the ground up. So then now when we have these opportunities to give more, then it's like, wow, let me really create something for people,
Mhm.
And so, yeah, that whole feeling with Made, it was just more so like, okay, this is cozy wear, and then there will be a separate time for obviously your more luxe pieces,
Mhm.
going out, staples, things like that. But your everyday staple can be Made.
That's hard.
That is fire. And to think about all of that too. It's like you thinking far out.
I mean,
Like,
it's just natural. Like, it's just natural,
yeah.
when you're like in the studio creating ideas for your podcast and things are just flowing, like
Right,
that's how
yeah.
it is for me in like design.
Yeah.
I literally wake up and think about clothes.
Is there ever a point? This is a completely random question.
Yeah.
There's ever a point where you feel like there's there's a potential of being like too creative, like as someone who like makes like stuff for the masses and like works with other people, like crafting visions for them as much as for yourself. Like, is there ever a time where you have to like kind of like rein in your own ideas or rein in your own creativity so as to like better serve this larger amount of people, or is it just kind of like, oh, like the stuff that I like kind of works for these same groups of people, so we're just gonna keep doing it like that?
Yeah, I think it depends on the type of product. Like,
Mm.
there's definitely some product that I was like, okay, only you gonna wear
Right.
this.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
And then there's like, okay, how can I make this more? I guess the word would kind of be commercial,
Mhm.
as far as like being more universally
Yeah.
Yeah.
accepted. And I think that also comes with the territory of designing, because you can design for yourself for sure.
Mhm.
And that works, and it definitely will work for me. But then when you're working with other people, that's the thing that you have to just keep in mind,
Yeah.
when it's a collab,
Right.
So it's like, okay, again, if I'm looking at Jordan and I'm looking at all the silhouettes, every silhouette has its own story. Of course, I would apply my own
Right.
story,
Right.
because
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
kind of the
Right.
method that they've been
Yeah.
using,
Mhm.
things like that, where like you kind of hone in on those details, and it just really goes like project based,
Yeah.
So that's why I say, like, take everything a day at a time, or just kind of like s- take the time to like single out every small thing you have to work on for the
Mhm.
larger thing,
Yeah. And it adds up.
Yeah, and it'll be way more smoother.
Yeah.
Like, but also too, sometimes it's like, yeah, you do want to get it off and you're just like, damn,
Yeah.
But then at the same time, you're like, nah, but I understand, do that
Right.
on your own time.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a one-of-one sample. Here's the one for
Yeah,
y'all.
like, and also too, like, there's an audience for that. Like, there's
Yeah.
so many, people that dress like myself, and I
Mhm.
dress like them. And it's like, okay, there is that pocket there that you can,
Right.
really like nurture. And
Mhm.
then obviously, again, when you're working with other brands, it's just taking all these things into,
Consideration.
yeah.
It's a good
Facts.
perspective.
So then how do you take, so we've talked about taking the vision and applied it to a brand like Jordan. Talk about taking the vision, applying it to your own brand, taking the
Mhm.
vision, applying it to your own brand for others. How do you take your vision and apply it when you're styling people, like
Yeah.
styling clients?
Ooh.
Because obviously you have a very unique style. What do
Yeah.
you do to put yourself in the
I've reached
shoes?
out a couple times, like,
Hey,
hey, what
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
what is your process when people ask you to style them, when you take on styling clients?
Yeah, I mean, my first thing is like going and looking at how their style has already been,
Mm-hmm.
and then really just taking those aesthetics and like finding, something similar, but maybe something from your point of view.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
I usually ask, like, what have you been into lately?
Mhm.
It could be like a brand, it could be a furniture store, it
Yeah.
could
Mhm.
be, anything that I can kind of grasp an idea. That helps
Furniture
me
store.
a lot. Yeah, I mean, look, people will come back with anything.
No, but if I can't describe the aesthetic that I'm going for, like, damn, I'm feeling West Elm today. You know what I'm saying?
No, literally, you could be like Crate and Barrel, or you be like IKEA. You know
Yeah.
exactly
Yeah,
what that looks like.
absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. And that's I never thought about it that way. So it's just crazy that you said that.
You're like, oh, okay, you're thinking mid-century modern type vibes. Okay,
Yeah,
maybe
that's pretty
orange, maybe
dope.
blues, maybe you like more metals or brushed gold, like
That's hard.
things like
bro.
that. Where you're
That's
like, oh, okay,
fire.
now I can start to build this whole fit for you.
Just
top
let
to
him match in
bottom.
his mind.
That's
Just-
hard. Yeah, that's hard.
Speaking of styling, right? Who's I guess one of the biggest person you've styled so far?
Biggest person I've styled?
Yeah.
I don't know. And you know,
Yeah.
I think
Who's your favorite person that you've styled?
I would probably say um wow, this is really fun.
You can do
Um,
top 3 again if you
Okay.
want.
no. Jaden Smith has been really cool to
All right,
style. That
okay,
was
all right.
fun.
That's cool. Shout
Shout
out
out,
Jaden.
shout out my dog Jaden.
Lil Yachty, that was fun.
Shout out Lil Boat.
Boat.
And I'm like, damn, who else did I style? I'm trying to go through the scroll. 21 Savage was really cool too.
Ooh,
That's a 21. Yeah.
21.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Oi.
So
yeah.
then, who would be your? You're dumb, bro.
Englishman.
Yeah.
So who would be your dream client?
Dream client.
If you could pick one person.
Yeah, who's left?
Well, that's the thing. Like, I feel like when I'm styling, it's more so just like how the synergy is. Like, if you can throw something at somebody and then they could give you like immediate, you know, like kind of bounce back, like, oh, I like this, but da 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 da. Like, when the communication is there, that's what makes the job fun, you know?
Mhm.
Because then I'm just not like shopping and looking at a whole world of clothes. And I'm
Right.
like, so where am I going
Yeah,
to start?
right.
Because you don't know
Yeah.
what you want, then I can't, you know,
Yeah, you
figure
can
it out
start,
for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I need a little direction. So yeah, I think all of these clients that I have worked with and like have been the best because there's been, you know, communication on like what they want to do, and it's just made my job much easier. And also again, the synergy was really good with the stuff that I did pull, you know, and how it looked on them. And so like all these things I feel like
Yeah.
as a stylist, you're like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, this might work. And then when you put it on and you're like, oh, it's fire,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah. So again, those, I think that's what makes like all those jobs my favorite. But I feel like if I was to style somebody, so I actually gave up styling.
Oh.
I bowed out
Okay.
because for me, this next step in, you know, my journey is more so design. And, you know, since I was a little girl, like I've always wanted to be a designer.
Right.
And I feel like I needed all these moments, whether it was styling, modeling, you know, to kind of build my education around it.
Right.
Even going to Fashion Week,
Yeah.
like that's me studying
Yeah.
fashion.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't grow up with someone. We was fly, but it
Right.
wasn't like somebody
Come
was
on
in the
now.
back
Come on
sewing.
now.
You know,
Right,
we wasn't
right,
sewing
right.
and
PJ done got a compliment.
you
man.
know,
Yeah, he's back.
Making your own
It's
blueprint.
the cousins. Come on.
not the cousins.
Reality show picture right now.
Yeah, you know, but I didn't go to fashion school. I went to school for marketing, you
Yeah.
know, so I know how to market a product. But I think, again, me learning more about fashion and the depths of it, like that's what you see when I'm out here at Fashion Week. I'm
Right.
taking notes of
Right.
things.
Trying to
I'm-
add to the arsenal.
yeah,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
so it's definitely a journey. But yeah, so I couldn't say I want to style
'Cause
anyone
you
right
don't
now.
wanna do that.
Man,
She's
I
a
feel that.
designer.
I feel that. I
Designer.
feel
She's a
that.
designer.
I feel that.
That's right.
You know, you got to try a lot of things, you know,
Yeah.
before you figure out what actually sticks or like what you really want to do.
Yeah.
And I feel like, you know, I was doing so many things and it was amazing.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the day, I was like, honestly, it was probably COVID that I was like, nah, this is it.
Yeah.
This is the turning point right
Yeah.
here.
You
I
know,
wanna
I was gonna,
design.
I was gonna ask. Everything we've talked about up to this point has been so. It's been like heartwarming stuff. You know, really wholesome
Aw.
stuff. You know, do people still be having you fucked up?
You know,
Go ahead, get it off your chest.
Nope.
the people
Just
still
because you're my
be-
family, I'm gonna give you the exclusive. Well, I think also too being a young creative and also being a woman and also being a woman of color. Like there's so many things that
Right.
you really got to get in the group chat with all your friends
Yeah.
and talk about. You know what I mean? And
Niggas is tripping.
yeah, and there's definitely just ways that you have to like reinforce like your value, that's an important part. And standing on business.
That's right.
Okay?
That's right.
Because
10
you will
toes.
get tried, but
Yeah,
that's a part of the
yeah.
process, because again, if I don't know you from a can of paint and I'm coming with my own game plan, you should also have your own as well.
Right.
I was watching like a Nipsey interview and he was just talking about like pretty much the steps before signing, a contract with somebody. Like we're both coming for our best benefit, it's not until we actually seal this deal, which makes it like, but it's still a business,
Right.
you know?
Right.
So as much homies and whoop de whoop and all of that, like, we still have to be business minded. And so I think that's what being a creative, you have to learn before you get a team to handle your business.
Yeah.
And even with the team, you want to be able to communicate what you really
Right.
want and what's the overall goal, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So I have someone like Tyler, which, I can be like, hey, this is how I see this going through. And if they're not really doing that, then, if it doesn't bring me joy, I'm not trying to work on it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so that is the part that's really going to be your bread and butter, right? If you can make something out of joy, that will turn into the flow of your lifestyle and all these things. But if it doesn't, it's going to be way more stress than
Right.
you ever imagined. And you'll be
Right,
like, I just
right.
want out,
Yeah.
So save yourself,
Facts.
But also too, in that process, if that's something that comes up, like talk amongst your friends, like, what do you think about this? Like, how should I do it? Or like, this is how I envision it, but like, how do I tell them that? All that stuff. Because that's what I do with all my friends. Anything that ever comes up, like it's a conversation to be had before I'm making any decisions.
Yeah.
Just because, you got a temp check, you like,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
what's it
right,
looking
right,
like?
right,
And what
right.
could it look like?
Right.
What
Yeah.
can I create
What
from
is it
this?
lacking or something?
Yeah.
Shout out
Yeah.
to Tyler too. It's one of the best. That's my big bro. We went
Yeah.
to high school together. But like,
Okay.
it's a very honest dude. And like
Yes.
that's what you need around you at
Exactly.
all times. Like somebody that's gonna tell you like, nah, this is fire.
Yep.
But sometimes maybe you should look at this differently.
Yeah, because
or-
also too, like as a creative, like we're in like this dream world, and like you need people on your team that are more,
Read
the
back in.
logistics
Yeah.
of it,
Yeah.
And that aren't yes man.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly,
Make sure you
and
know how
that's gonna
those-
help build you up.
I like it. I
Facts.
can dig it. I can dig it.
What are how have you seen fashion change since you first decided that this was your dream, since you've made your own mark within the industry, and as you're continuing to build on what you've done?
Yeah, fashion has definitely changed a lot. I feel like there's definitely more representation. There needs to be way more.
Mm.
But,
Mhm.
with a lot of people that I know in the industry, everyone's really putting in a lot of effort in order for the future generations to come in and see themselves.
Mhm.
So I think that's definitely something, that we have all come together as like standing on business,
Mm.
Yeah.
and what I can say is that there's just so many like dope up and coming designers. And again, with the advancement of technology, like who's to say? I know you've seen those like AI shoes.
Yeah.
Bruh.
It'd be
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
Nike X da da da. You'd
Yeah.
be like, that's kind of
Yeah.
fire. Like
It's
if I
kinda
could,
hard.
if we could put that
It's
into
kinda
production,
hard.
or
You can
like
literally
I'm even getting
3D print a
ideas.
shoe,
Exactly.
in like
Exactly.
20 minutes. Like this shit is crazy.
Exactly. So things like that, where it's like, wow, like this next generation and the one after
Mhm.
that of designers, and even now, like there's just so many things that like can just evolve. So
Yeah.
I feel like with me, fashion, obviously, again, there's always like the setbacks, I think, as far as like, industry and things like that. But then there's also the upside where you just have people that are really creating based off of like them loving it,
Yeah.
and like
Mhm.
out comes like these great experiments,
yeah.
you know, and it just like when I see stuff like that, I get super inspired. I'm just like, all right, it's go time, like, you know. So
I hope my beer.
yeah, you know.
Do you have speaking of like brands and do you have like a Mount Rushmore of brands? What would be on
Yeah.
what would be on your Mount Rushmore?
Uh,
How many heads on? It's 4, right?
Yeah.
I think it's 4 heads.
George
Are
Washington,
y'all
Abe
know that?
Lincoln,
I don't know the names. I know it's 4 people.
Thomas. Yeah, it's 4.
yeah,
You listen
it's,
to-
I don't know.
I
I was
would
trying to remember.
say definitely Ralph Lauren, Marc
Okay.
Jacobs.
Ralph Lauren was born before I wore.
Okay. Ralph Lauren, Marc Jacobs. Of course, I'm biased. Virgil Abloh.
Yeah,
Facts. R.I.P.
that's the brand in itself. We're
and
not talking Off-White or Louis V. We're just talking about
Yeah,
Virgil.
we don't.
You know?
Yeah.
and
You said Marc Jacobs, right?
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah,
Marc
yeah,
Jacobs
yeah.
for sure.
Shout out to Echo.
Wait, no. Marc Jacobs is not Marc Echo. Two different guys, sir.
Now you with me on this
I'm
one.
drinking the Kool-Aid, bro.
It's okay, it's
God damn
okay.
it.
That brother was just he was just agreeing to agree.
He was like, yeah.
I ain't said nothing in a while.
No.
Just
Two great people. Marc Jacobs is definitely somebody in fashion that has just really changed the game. When you're thinking about Pharrell back in the day wearing all the Louis stuff, that was all designed by Marc Jacobs. Like he's
Damn.
one of
Oh, damn.
those like great American designers. And let's say Rick Owens.
Rick
Oh,
Owens.
okay.
He's from
Okay.
California too.
Yeah.
So you
Oh,
know.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
I didn't
I
know
didn't
that.
know that.
Exactly. There
Okay,
you go.
wait. Now, are Marc Jacobs and Marc Echo? They're both MARC, right?
They are.
That's what it
Yeah,
was.
see?
That's
Nah,
what it
don't
was.
try to justify
That's
it.
what-
It's
that's-
okay.
That's what it was.
It's okay.
Like, come on,
It's
yeah.
okay.
Come
Yeah.
on.
oh my god,
I could have sworn that was
Um,
the
It's okay.
same.
I gotta ask, since you threw Virgil in there, if you're comfortable talking about it, we don't have to talk about like the ways that he's inspired you, because I feel like we've heard so many different people talk about that. But how do you feel
Unless you want to.
about? I mean, if you want to, we could talk about that. But how do you feel about Pharrell taking over Louis V and
Yeah.
the difference in how things feel from then to now?
Yeah. I personally am a fan of Pharrell at Louis Vuitton. When we're
Okay.
thinking
Same.
about back in the day, there was like a pair of sunglasses that was called the Bendies and the Millionaires,
Mhm.
and these were all ideas from Pharrell. So, even before Virgil Abloh, Pharrell was really in the door helping to lay down the, you know,
Consulting.
Yeah.
for Virgil to be in his,
In that position.
this position as
Yeah.
well. Virgil definitely made his own path, though,
Mhm.
and Pharrell did too. I would like to think of them as two separate
Right.
entities,
Yeah.
For sure.
but
yeah.
in
Absolutely.
the same ecosystem,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
so they are not the
Different
same.
animal, same beast. Yeah.
Exactly. There's Triple
All right,
OG.
Kobe Bryant.
There's Jordan and there's Kobe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is how we would view, as far as creative directors at Louis Vuitton, would be a Pharrell and Virgil moment,
Yeah.
where it's like Virgil, like Kobe, came in with his own mentality, and really shook up what everybody thought
Shook the
was
shit up,
like,
for sure.
yo,
Yeah.
whoa,
Yeah.
Shook the
and
table
then
up.
he's definitely more so like the youth and obviously like our age group and
Mhm.
things like that, and I feel like Pharrell is definitely more like sophisticated. He's also older, so I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
I don't really necessarily look at him to be like
Right,
appeal
yeah.
to us.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
he's
yeah,
like
yeah.
no, like
Yeah.
Jay-Z. Like,
Right.
like everybody that was at the runway show,
Mhm.
Facts, yeah.
and so I feel like that's like his audience, right? Which we think of as Black excellence.
Right.
So, of course, like we would want to wear Pharrell to, let's say, the Grammys
Right.
or MTV Awards, or like that's where I'm wearing these pieces.
Yeah.
Virgil definitely made it feel like anyone can own Louis Vuitton,
Mhm.
and like we could get these fits off, whether we're skating, whether we're, so I think it's really different age groups,
Yeah.
but both are very necessary, and one doesn't happen without the other.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
know.
Have you had a chance to meet Pharrell?
Oh yeah,
For sure.
yeah, definitely many times,
Oh, word.
and yeah, they're great.
Duh.
They come
Relax,
on,
relax.
fashion. No,
Did you not just hear the stories I told you?
Yeah, but definitely, and yeah, it's when you think about like the fashion realm, it's actually not that big. So it's like you know everyone.
It's like any other like
You know, like when you're
everybody.
thinking about Black Hollywood, you're
Yeah.
thinking about, you know, it's very much of like a group, and
Yeah.
it's not that big, but we're definitely trying to expand.
Yeah.
He got wrinkles on his face or not?
Okay, no. Don't
What?
ever. Nah, he hated
He don't
it. He
age,
hated
bro.
it.
Up close to he got wrinkles on it. You
Yeah.
can tell us.
Don't hate on Pharrell, okay? We pray that
So
we
is
don't
he
have
really a
Pharrell
vampire?
genes.
Man.
No, that's tight. That's tight. Okay, so we talk about how everything that you do influences each other, from the footwear to streetwear to styling to designing. Let's talk about acting.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Big
Let's
screen.
talk about first of all the projects that you've done. Obviously unscripted. We saw you on
Come
the
on.
hype and everything
on.
that you bring to that show. We've seen you in Grownish.
Come on.
Yeah.
What
was
what do
fun.
you
Come
think is
on.
the
What?
lane that you feel? What do you think you bring to the screen?
Don't know. But I'm down to try.
Yeah.
So I'm not opposed to it. And then, when I started thinking, I'm like, what type of movies or things that I would want to be in? I was like, okay, for sure, like a Laura Croft vibe,
Okay,
Tomb Raider.
okay.
Okay, not doing all the stunts like Tom Cruise, but maybe most, And then I was like, what would be really cool is like a fashion Disney princess. Like that would
That
be,
would be
fire.
like a
Fire.
voiceover
That'd be
for, her or whatever.
Let me call my people.
Oh God.
Please,
That would
throwing
be
it out
great.
there.
That would be tight,
Ahem.
man.
That would be hard. That's a good
Fingers
idea.
crossed.
We're gonna have to redact that from the episode. We got some projects we gotta go back to the drawing board and work on.
And I always
you're
love
trying to
to
go
be.
far with
I
it.
always love to be in a hood classic.
Come on.
We need like
Well,
a
poetic,
cookout.
Come
poetic
on.
justice too.
where
Something.
Johnson
Belly.
Family Vacation.
Her belly. Yeah.
Boys in the Hood.
Come on.
Like I those are near and dear to my heart.
Would you
so
want it
it's
to be a
like-
comedy or like a dramedy or straight drama?
I mean, I think definitely it got to just be something that's just universally known. Like everybody knows Friday.
Yeah.
Everybody
Yeah,
knows Boys
yeah.
in the Hood. Everybody
Right,
knows
right.
Belly.
Yeah.
Everybody
Yeah.
know. You know what I mean? Like
Those are staples in the community
yeah.
for sure.
So something like that.
I feel that.
Yeah.
Dang. Yeah, that would be a fashion princess.
Bro, stop talking about it.
Oh, my bad, my
Listen,
bad.
Giving people
nah, throw it
juice.
up,
We
throw it up.
trying to.
That's what I'm saying.
No, we going back to the drawing board. We gonna create
My
it.
fault. You're right.
Listen, teamwork made the dream work.
Come
So you
on,
know
yeah.
what I mean? We all gonna be at the opening.
Yeah.
That's HBOP. You got HBO in his back pocket. You know what I'm
Yo,
saying?
chill.
So obviously we were on a reality show.
Yes.
Would you ever do reality TV? Were you ever approached to do reality? I know most people in LA have been approached to do some sort of reality TV. at some
Yeah,
point.
definitely have. It's very interesting.
Was it like fashion based?
Yeah. Well, I did. So I did a series with Complex.
Mhm.
And that was really fun, but it was more so like me interviewing designers.
Yeah.
So that was cool. But I think something that's, I don't know, I'm more like a private person.
Right.
I
I mean, shit, that's what I said too. We did.
okay,
Yeah,
until you
facts.
did it.
Until it was on.
And
I loved it.
Yeah.
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 Yeah,
loved
there
it.
there were moments of there are things about it that you hate, and
Right.
it's kind of just like the nature of how things go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there you got to find enjoyment in it if you're
Yeah.
gonna do it.
Right.
I
Overall,
said,
though,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, the pros outweigh the cons. For
Yeah.
sure. Me, for sure. So
Yeah.
definitely do it again.
Plus, it's like you don't. I feel like the
The
misconception.
cousins.
Okay.
Yeah,
no,
get us. Get
look,
us.
that's how she gonna be brought on, y'all.
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah.
Hey, y'all. Here I am.
I feel like the misconception with reality TV is that you gotta get on screen and act the ass or tell all your business. Like you really don't. Like
Yeah,
you
you
really just
don't.
gotta make it work for you.
Yeah.
Is that a misconception?
I don't think that you have to.
You don't necessarily
I don't
have to
think.
do
I feel
that.
like most people, and that I feel like that's why so many people gravitated towards our show. It initially was because they were like, "Oh, this is so different from all other forms of Black reality TV, where all we're seeing is fighting and arguing." Like,
You
yeah,
have
I'm
to
not gonna
find a
say,
balance.
yeah, like I'm not
Yeah.
gonna say
You know what I
that
mean?
Yeah, for
our
sure.
show didn't
Find
have
a
those
balance.
moments, but that doesn't mean that
Mm,
it always has to be getting on TV and
Right.
acting ass.
Yeah, like you don't have to be throwing drinks and arguing
Right.
and shit.
Yeah.
There has to be some sort of conflict.
I think that what y'all saying is true, but it's true because it's like y'all saying it. If that makes
That's
sense,
fair.
you
That's
know?
fair. That's
Like
fair.
y'all don't have to do that.
Yeah.
I don't have to do something
Yeah.
like that, but there's a lot
There are
of
a lot
people
of
that
people
more
do,
than
yeah,
likely
yeah.
do
Yeah.
have to do
Yeah.
some
Because
shit
that's
like
what
that.
makes them interesting.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's fair.
That's
That's
fair.
fair. That's fair.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I would think about it, and then it would be like, in what,
Yeah.
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 angle
Right.
is this show?
What's the end game here? You know.
yeah. Yeah.
But then also niggas be lying, so you really,
yeah,
you really
I'm
never
not really
know.
like, I ain't got no
Yeah.
time for that.
No, not.
No, like-
I'm talking like you like because like I feel like for us in particular, we were not sold a dream. We were just told it was gonna be one thing, and then it just morphed into something
Okay,
different after
yeah.
you know like a.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, yeah, I'm,
Yeah. I mean, it's all it's big picture IP at the end of the day.
definitely.
Facts,
Definitely.
facts. Okay, so we're talking about like being on TV, and you know, for most people, that's like, oh wow, I made it, right?
Mhm.
So, what was your I made it moment
Well,
throughout your whole journey?
I have an idea of
Exactly.
what I would imagine it would be for
Oh,
her, but
let
I want to
me-
hear what
nah,
your
nah,
answer
nah,
is.
nah, spitball.
Well, you can't. Yeah, you
Yeah.
gotta. You
No, go
gotta,
ahead,
I
go
mean,
ahead.
as a fan,
Uh-huh.
you know, and obviously we're friends, but as a fan, you got a chance
As
to
a fan.
work with one of the biggest IPs that exists in the entire world and have that shit cemented in a nice little plastic Barbie doll that I'm sure you have encased
Facts.
like that.
There,
That's
that is pretty.
that's a I
fire.
made
no,
it moment.
yeah,
Facts.
that's definitely crazy.
Oh God.
Oh
Yeah.
God.
Oh God.
Oh God. Let me
If
stand
And she
Bar-
got
if-
the ones on.
Yeah, if
And
the
she
Barbie
got the ones
And she,
on.
come on,
If
man.
the Barbie movie
Come on,
wins an
man.
We fought for
Oscar,
that.
she gets an honorary Oscar because I've worked with Barbie and I got the Barbie
Listen,
on the.
man.
You know
If
what I'm
it's
saying?
if it's good enough for Mattel,
That's
it's
what I'm
good
saying.
enough for Disney.
Big-
All right. Come on.
Point.
Come on.
Standing
at the
on
camera.
business.
Look at- yeah,
Standing
look
at
on
that camera.
business
All
for
right.
2024
Disney.
Okay.
And beyond.
And
and beyond.
Okay, so I'm
on
sorry.
Disney Plus,
what,
y'all.
what was what's your made it moment? We'll come back to the Barbie because we got to talk about that.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
I think I've had many moments in my career
Beautiful.
that honestly, after every big moment, you know, it's definitely a tearjerker because
Yeah.
you're just like, wow, everything that I got through to get to this point.
Are you a big crier?
You know, I cry with joy. You
That's
know,
right.
And,
That's right.
You know, it's just, but yeah, because again, it's just unbelievable.
Yeah,
Like you're
yeah.
like, wow, like I never would have thought me
Right.
just liking fashion or something as a young girl or
Mhm.
da da da. You know, the Barbie moment was definitely crazy. I think even in the process, like the first initial emails and things like with my team, it was kind of like, oh, okay, like this is cool, you know. And then you start being like, so does this mean I get a Barbie, you know? And so it's like, yeah, like you would get this one of a kind, it will go for auction,
That's
blah blah
hard.
blah, like things like that. And I'm like, it's getting serious. I'm like, wait, like how real is this though, you know? And so even when it came to the part with the Jordans that she's wearing in the one of one, that was like a hard part because, you know, Mattel was like,
Yeah.
we've never really done anything with them, and then
Mhm.
vice versa. So it's like, how can I put these two
Those are
together?
$2 billion
Yeah.
businesses that
You
now have to
know?
coexist.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so even with that, we fought for it and it went through. And so again, it's all the little steps into making that one big step, and that's why you cry at the end because
Yeah.
you're like, I went,
Come on.
I
There it
went
is,
through
yeah.
it,
All my life,
and we here. So yeah, but I'm definitely hoping for again just more moments like that,
Oh yeah,
and
they're not over.
you know, to
For sure not
celebrate
over, for
with
sure.
the people I love, and you know, just inspire the next.
Keeping the main
That's
thing the
the-
main thing.
If
Right.
there was a dream collaboration that you had to manifest, whether it be a brand or an IP,
That's a good question.
You know, I think because Pharrell did it, I'm gonna follow them footsteps and say Chanel and Louis Vuitton.
Okay.
Okay.
Chanel and Louis
Louis
Vuitton.
And I don't know if you guys know
You're going
that
house to
Chanel's
house.
first collaboration was with Pharrell. He
Oh,
was the
wow.
first person that the house ever collaborated with.
Wow.
Ever. Shout out to
Damn.
Pharrell, man.
When was Chanel
Skateboard
founded?
P.
Or
it was like
established?
18 something probably.
That's
like
crazy.
a very long time ago.
Yeah,
That's insane.
that's
With and without the wrinkles. Shout out to Pete. You feel me?
Moving in
Yep.
because y'all stressing him out.
Come
Okay,
on, come on.
Oh, good.
would be the only reason why he would
Yep.
have that.
see on both sides like Chanel.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you know,
Okay.
I don't know anybody else that has a collab with two really large conglomerates like that, and I feel like why not? Why not aim for the stars?
Yeah, shoot for the stars.
Why
You
not
know?
a Laylee?
Okay.
Why not a Laylee?
The
There it
Disney
is.
fashion princess.
Come on, man.
Okay.
Come on, man.
Guys, we're giving them recipes.
Well, they'll have to hit me up.
Exactly,
Anyway,
exactly.
They can't live out the story
Exactly.
That's
without
right.
your
Yeah,
girl.
that's true. That's right.
Exactly.
You actually
That's
need
right.
the fashion princess.
You
right.
actually need her.
That's facts. That's
That's
facts.
facts.
I think we'd be. Do we want to do story time? Do we want to do that today?
Oh. We could save it.
You wanna
What?
save it?
Save it.
We
Why
can
did
save
okay.
everybody?
We don't
do-
have enough time. We don't have
We
enough
don't
time.
have-
We don't have enough time.
So I mean, we'll ask you. Obviously, we were on a show called Sweet Life.
Yes.
As you know, life sometimes is sweet, but more than often it is not. Which is how Life Got Hands was born, because
Hands.
life was fucking us up. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to put everybody's business out there. I think we talked about it on the pod when we first started
Yeah,
the
for
pod.
sure.
Kof was unemployed.
Yep,
Kof
yep,
got a
yep.
job now. When we first, hey. When we first started the pod,
Hey, man.
he was unemployed.
Hey,
He
man.
got that motherfucking job,
Hey, man.
When we first started
Yeah.
the pod,
Yes.
I had a job. As of
Yeah.
a week ago, I'm unemployed now. So you
Yeah.
know,
Fun
the
employed.
shit is
He's
ebbs
fun
and
It's
employed.
flows.
life. Life be
Ebbs and
throwing
flows.
hands.
So
PJ got that offer today.
on
I did.
God,
Yeah.
boy.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Look
God.
at that.
Yes,
Look at
sir.
that.
Yes,
That's
sir.
amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
So one thing that
Okay.
we ask all of our guests is, how's life throwing hands at you right now? How does life have you fucked up?
Ooh-wee. Oh man, yeah.
It could be something like specific.
It
Like,
could be like you
you
stubbed
know
your toe this
what?
morning or
You know
something.
what?
Whatever.
It's not as many punches being thrown,
I fuck with
but
that.
the weight of each punch. You
Okay.
like
Doing some haymakers.
you like
that's Mike Tyson
yo.
first
Quality
round.
over
1-2.
quantity.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you like, yo, that one hurt.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I
You
feel
know?
that, yeah.
And also too, it's just a growing stage, you
Mhm.
know? Growing pains,
Yeah.
really.
Mm-hmm.
And the you know, the bigger the obstacle, the bigger the benefit.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And there's like this saying, it's like the higher you climb the mountain, the harder the wind blows. And so I feel like I'm very much not to the top, but definitely I'm somewhere in the middle where that wind is blowing even
Yeah.
harder.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I'm
for
like,
sure.
you gotta chill,
Yeah.
like just for 2 seconds, you know?
Yeah.
But also at the same time, I feel like just with life's experiences, I feel more equipped in how to kind of, you know, tackle each one,
Mhm.
you know, because it's really a game of chess, you know, not
Yeah.
checkers. And I think just really being strategic and also, again, knowing what I know now compared to, you know, let's say before,
Right.
it's just helped so much. And again, having those times like, what works for you? How can I figure this out?
Mm-hmm.
Do I single it out and focus there? Do I look at all of it as one? Are they all mirroring each other in some way, shape, or form? Because that's most of the time, you know, personal and even professional. They're all very much intertwined. And so that same energy, right? Whatever's mirroring, you know, whatever's going on inside is coming out,
Yeah.
you know? And it's something that I need to get through and not go around. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
Facts.
just really want to come with, the game plan for the knockout. You know what I mean?
Y'all heard that? Get through and not go around. Okay.
Go around will take you longer.
Yeah.
Trust.
Yeah.
You rather just go through it as crazy as it can be, just stick it out. But
Ain't no shortcuts, man.
Yeah. That sounds like old girl that submitted a story talking about she got cis zoned. She got friend zoned. So
Oh man,
I'ma
we're not
respond
even
to
gonna
her.
waste our time.
I'm gonna
on
respond to her
that.
and be like, you just gotta get through it. You
just
can't-
gotta
get through it.
Don't go
Let's
around.
get
Get
through
through
it.
it.
Might be somebody on the other side.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
what I
Oh,
mean?
God.
He might be en route. You never
Yeah.
know.
Oh God.
You never know.
Yeah.
Half full. Half
Facts.
full, not half empty.
But before we wrap it up, I gotta ask you. So like NBA players, athletes,
Yeah.
big time in fashion now,
Yeah.
right? They got lead fits, all this stuff, right?
They're looking better than ever now. Okay, things are fitting.
Things are
Things are
You know?
fitting.
Okay. Because I
Things
remember,
are fitting.
I
You know?
won't say the name of the athlete, but I remember
Okay.
having a conversation with you, and you was like, "Yeah, I hate the way he's dressed." Not gonna say who it was, but who I guess in the league do you think is like best dressed?
No, because what can
Getting fits off, though.
they be getting fits off, but I don't know who. It's like,
like a
I mean,
name.
like,
Oh, you don't know who they are.
Yeah.
He's
That's
like,
fair.
okay, I
That's
know
fair.
Shy.
Shay.
Shay.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
Okay, he dresses really good because
Yeah,
he
yeah,
knows
doing
his
his thing.
proportions
Yeah.
and he shops, for his body type.
Yeah.
I think for me, what makes a person really well dressed is knowing their proportions
Mm.
and like knowing what works.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
know, and then also obviously the confidence, but like when both of them mix, I think whether you're in a suit or more so like laid back clothes, like if the proportions are clean, like it looks clean, like
Mhm.
Yeah. How about Russell Westbrook?
oh yeah, like that's hometown hero for sure, and I feel like he's very confident in his dressing.
Yeah.
Some of the fits obviously I feel like I wouldn't put on him, but I like how he's just confident,
confident, for sure.
regardless. And
Yeah.
I'm like, and that's what makes that fire.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
like the clothes aren't wearing you.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
the main thing.
Yeah. You wanna
All right, it's time for Cove's Corner.
Cove's Corner?
Cove's Corner.
Yeah.
Corner.
We got a segment that we do.
Sponsored by
Rockstar today.
Today,
we
Rockstar.
got it.
Now you gotta
Star.
zoom in.
Rockstar.
Yeah, hold on.
Hold one.
You gonna hold a can?
Here you go.
I'm not holding
Lily
that.
not getting paid, so
Talk
she
to
can't.
Tyler.
Yeah.
Should
Rockstar.
I put it down? They ain't paying me.
I mean, they
Yeah,
paid me.
they ain't
so,
paying me
I'm
either.
sorry. I apologize. Here, I'll hold the.
Yeah, you hold it.
pitching for the homies.
I did.
Anyway, whatever.
Hey man, I believe it when I see it.
It's okay. We only 5 in. It's new.
Five in,
It's
yeah.
new.
Okay, so I'm Kof. This is my corner.
Okay.
Today's question. Okay, so it's most often like a would you rather type of get down.
Okay.
So today you're gonna do okay. Would you rather your hands and feet switch places on your body, or your eyes and ears? So now you got like the goldfish.
Hands or
shit.
feet? What do you mean?
So
Yeah.
Yeah,
No
because I
way.
could still find some fire shoes and some fire gloves.
But so then you gotta grab it.
But it's just gonna be like you still walk
But you only
in
can
the
see
same
like
way.
this. You can't see what's in front of you.
Yeah,
Exactly.
like, nah, hands and feet.
peripheral is crazy, but
Hands and feet. Hands
But
and
then
feet.
what is quality of life if you switch your get down?
But think about your quality of life if these two switch.
I could learn a trade with my hands.
Bro, your ears are in the front of your face.
Your ears is right here.
That's
Yeah, nah.
Can
That's
hear
kinda
everything.
wild, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna do hands and feet.
I think
too.
I'm going eyes and ears, bro.
Okay.
That's wild.
coming
bro.
from someone who wore his shoes on his hands the
Right.
entire last
Hey. Wow.
You were
Hey,
practicing.
good point.
Yeah.
I'm still going eyes and
Okay.
ears, bro.
Yeah, I
That's
don't
a
know
real
about
good
that
point,
one.
though.
I'm gonna go hands and feet, but like imagine you finna get intimate with your shorty. You kissing, you still wanna start, you got your foot all
Bro.
over, you know what I'm saying? You
I mean, but your feet as hands would be just as clean.
Right.
Ideally.
It's not like they're on the ground.
They're not on the ground. Yeah.
So do gloves become
The
shoes?
world doesn't cater to you.
gloves do become
You're just the
shoes.
only one fucked
I'm just
up.
gonna
You're the only
You're
one?
the only one fucked
Oh,
up.
what the
Oh,
fuck?
yeah,
Wait,
hands and feet.
You thought the world was just gonna no,
I
it's
thought
just
everybody
you.
Yeah, I
No.
thought this was a thing.
I thought this was evolution.
Imagine
Everybody
trying to
It's
kick a
not
nigga. You
evolution.
gotta ball your hand
That's
up.
actually not evolution.
at the base of
We're
your
going
leg.
back. We're going back.
I'm
Yeah.
still doing hands and feet, bro.
Yeah.
I just can't get with this.
I
Like,
can
y'all
make
got
some
it.
custom anything.
Y'all got it. Y'all got it.
I can't hoop.
You can't do.
You
I
figure
gotta
it out.
You
shoot
really
like
can't
this.
do damn near. You can't grab
You
anything.
gotta turn your head.
You gotta turn your head when you want to shoot.
You can't
To see
like.
who's talking to you, you gotta like,
Bro, imagine like washing your face. You can't brush your. Like, you probably could brush your teeth. There's a lot of shit you could not do. Like with your feet as your hands. Mm-mm.
You can
I
put
mean,
the toothbrush in
but-
between your toes.
Listen,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Where
There's
there's a
people
will,
who have
there's a
to,
way.
like-
Yeah,
Yeah,
not y'all. What the fuck?
Yeah,
I mean, you
nah,
adapt. You
I'm
adapt.
Yeah, because you wouldn't know anything else.
Yeah.
Right.
So that is evolution.
Okay.
No,
Sure, hey
I'm
man.
tripping.
If it is,
I got
then
Charles
it is.
Darwin fucked up. My bad. That's the evolution guy, right? Charles
Yes,
Darwin?
yes.
All right.
All right, y'all.
This has been great.
This has been great. Aleali, thank you for
Thank
coming
you so
on.
Thank
much for
you.
coming
Tell
on to
us,
the
oh
pod,
no,
man.
I'm sorry. Before we go, who is one person? So now you've sat on the pod. You see what we're about. I hope you had a great time.
I did.
Who is somebody that is within your sphere of influence that you think would also be a great guest for the pod? But you have to help us get them as a guest.
Hmm.
Who's humble enough?
No, who's humble?
She said for real, y'all.
I said humble.
Who's humble enough? I don't know. I think I could think about it and see. This would be for the 6th episode.
No, it's
Just-
just
just-
down my
no,
line.
just-
Oh, just
yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
Y'all would just
yeah.
film it and then have it place it.
Yeah, get them in here whenever we can.
Somebody that you think fucks
Never
with
the
vision.
stars align.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Let it marinate. Let it marinate.
Yeah, I'm gonna marinate on that.
All right.
Alright.
I'm gonna think of.
I'ma text
what,
her every
what
day.
Age? What age group?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
We're all
Doesn't
okay.
matter.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
You know?
Cool.
Yeah,
life,
yeah.
life be throwing hands at toddlers sometimes. Well, you never have no
I
toddler.
hope they don't. Hope they don't.
man. If you can crawl, we can brawl.
You wildin'.
All right, man. At Life Got Hands Pod on all social platforms. You know the guys. This is at Aleali May.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you for coming on the pod.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Thanks for having
appreciate you.
me.
Family.